Disclaimer. This is not a video you watch. It's a video you listen to. Because timing is not seen, it is sensed. So lower the distractions and pay attention. Some lessons are visual. This one is not. I used to believe I was unlucky. I thought other people simply had better timing, better connections, better circumstances. I would watch their success and quietly ask myself, why not me? But over time, I was forced to confront a harder truth. I wasn't unlucky, I just couldn't feel timing. I moved when my emotions were high. When I felt the urge to prove myself, I pushed forward. But when fear showed up, I hesitated. When uncertainty appeared, I waited. My decisions were not based on alignment. They were based on mood. And when things went wrong, I blamed circumstances instead of myself. Have you ever stepped forward too early and felt the room turn cold? Or waited too long and watched someone else walk through the door you were preparing for? That's not bad luck. That's misjudged timing. And time does not forgive ignorance. The person who cannot feel timing will never recognize opportunity. The world is full of people who move quickly. But history is written by those who understand when to move. When I was 29, I thought I understood ambition. I believed the boldest person in the room would always win. I was working in a company where politics mattered more than performance. But I didn't see that at first. I only saw the ladder. And I wanted to climb it fast. There was a senior position about to open. Everyone knew it. So I decided to make myself visible. In meetings, I spoke first. I challenged decisions. I pointed out weaknesses in other departments. I thought I was showing leadership. What I was actually doing was disrupting balance. What I failed to notice was that upper management was unstable. There were internal conflicts I didn't fully understand. Power was shifting quietly behind closed doors. And I walked straight into that tension without reading it. I pushed at the exact moment when everyone above me was protecting their position. To me, it felt like courage. To them, it felt like a threat. The promotion didn't go to the smartest person. It didn't go to the hardest worker. It went to the person who moved at the safest moment. I remember sitting in my car that night, staring at the steering wheel. I kept telling myself I was overlooked, that the system was unfair. But deep down, I knew something else. I hadn't lost because I lacked ability. I lost because I misread timing. 8 months later, the same position opened again. This time, I didn't rush. I observed who was gaining influence, who was losing it, who was nervous, who was secure. I didn't speak first anymore. I spoke when the room leaned in. I didn't challenge everything. I supported strategically. And when the moment came, I stepped forward. Not early, not late. Aligned. That was the difference. Not talent, not effort. Timing. There was a man in the French Revolution who mastered timing so completely that he survived regimes that destroyed everyone else. His name was Joseph Fouché. He was not charismatic. He was not loved. In fact, many people despised him. But he understood something deeper than popularity. He understood momentum. When the revolution turned violent, Fouché did not hesitate. He aligned himself with the radicals. In Lyon, he enforced brutal revolutionary policies without mercy. Why? Because at that moment, extremism was power. He did not move based on morality. He moved based on direction. But revolutions consume their own leaders. Soon, Maximilien Robespierre, the face of radical power, began losing support. Fear replaced loyalty. Allies turned cautious. Fouché sensed the shift before it was visible. He did not publicly attack Robespierre. That would have been suicide. He did not defend him either. That would have tied him to a sinking ship. Instead, he built quiet alliances in the background. He spoke carefully. He positioned himself near the center but never fully exposed. When the moment came when Robespierre was finally vulnerable, Fouché moved. Not loudly, not emotionally, decisively. Robespierre was executed. Fouché survived. But that was only the beginning. Under Napoleon, Fouché became Minister of Police. He built one of the most extensive intelligence networks in Europe. He knew who was plotting, who was whispering, who was dissatisfied. He collected information not to dominate immediately, but to prepare for the next shift. Here is where his mastery of timing becomes undeniable. As Napoleon expanded his empire, Fouché supported him. But he also watched him closely. When Napoleon began overreaching, especially during the Russian campaign, Fouché sensed instability again. He did not publicly betray Napoleon. He did something far more dangerous. He quietly opened communication with the Bourbons, the royal family waiting to reclaim France. Before Napoleon fell, Fouché had already positioned himself for the next regime. When Napoleon was exiled, Fouché did not fall with him. He transitioned. Kings changed, governments changed, ideologies changed. Fouché adapted because he never attached himself to personalities. He attached himself to timing. People called him a traitor, a snake, a survivor without loyalty. But history reveals something colder. He understood that power is temporary, momentum is temporary, and survival belongs to those who sense the shift before others feel it. Robespierre misread timing and lost his head. Napoleon misread timing and lost his empire. Fouché read timing and kept his position. Power is not about being the strongest in the room. It is about knowing when the room is about to change, and moving before the collapse becomes obvious. That is why Joseph Fouché survived when giants fell. Because he did not fight time, he studied it. There is another kind of failure that looks intelligent on the surface. It is not rushing. It is not recklessness. It is hesitation disguised as strategy. Some people convince themselves they are being patient. In reality, they are afraid of being wrong in public. They wait for clearer signals. They wait for certainty. They wait for confirmation. But certainty never arrives. I once knew a man named Daniel. He was sharper than most executives in the room. He could read markets. He could predict shifts before they happened. In 2016, He identified a rising industry before it exploded. He ran the numbers. He understood the demand curve. He was right, completely right. But he kept saying, let's wait one more quarter. Not because he lacked vision, but because he feared visible failure. He wanted proof before commitment. He wanted safety before exposure. By the time proof arrived, so did competition. By the time certainty arrived, margins were gone. He didn't misread the opportunity, he misread the window. Timing is not just about acting early. It is about acting before comfort. Daniel eventually entered the market. But now he was fighting established players. He was no longer early, he was late. He once told me something that stayed with me. I saw it coming, I just didn't move. That is the most dangerous sentence in professional life. Seeing is not power. Moving at the right moment is. Move too early, you burn. Move too late, you disappear. But there is a third danger. Knowing and still not acting. Because you were waiting to feel safe. Time does not wait for safety. It moves. And it rewards those who move with it.